Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Meditation Minyan. I'm Rabbi Hannah Leslie Glazer, Congregation Adat Re'im. We are now 3 weeks away from the high holidays, and it is a busy time in Jewish community. Lots to do to get ready for the holidays, and that is generally a very joyous time. A time of anticipation, a time of excitement. And we also have, some extra added complications this year because of COVID, because of the news in our world this week. There is a lot out there that can distract us from what's going on in our inner life, our spiritual life, with our souls, and getting ready for the high holidays. And so one of the spiritual principles and spiritual practices I wanted to share with you is one that I am finding especially useful this week, even before I had a major flood in my home yesterday. And someone very privately asked me if it was cleaned up yet. It is not cleaned up yet. I'm probably going to be working on it most of the day today. It's a huge mess. And anyway, these things happen. And Rosh Hashanah still comes, Yom Kippur still comes, Shabbat still comes. And so how do we make sure to leave room for spiritual practice in the middle of chaos? And so sometimes the answer is that the spiritual practice needs to happen no matter what, because otherwise we couldn't handle the chaos very well, or we know we aren't handling the chaos very well. And so we actually need meditation in those times more than ever. And sometimes that's very apparent to us. But sometimes it's not so apparent, and sometimes it may feel like we can skip out on those things. And so this practice that I'm going to share is for those moments where we need to build time and make time for spiritual practice in the middle of panic, in the middle of crisis, in the middle of really disturbing news that's out there in the world. So how do we put those things aside for a moment and focus on being present with our inner lives? How do we focus on slowing down, even if it's just for 15 minutes? So that's what we're going to be doing today. And the midah, the sort of spiritual quality that I will be referring to, is called shalva. And it is loosely translated as equanimity. And I'm talking about it today as wearing the world like a loose garment. Wearing the world like a loose garment. The ideal with shalva, equanimity, it's kind of the idea of like a scale that's balanced. Some days the balance may be here, some days the balance may be there, but there's still some attention that is paid to balance, and there's still some room for it. And again, the way that I'm doing that this week is holding on to the idea of wearing the world like a loose garment. That in certain moments, it's important not to get hooked into what's going on outside, so that we're able to make time and space and spiritual availability for being able to quiet the mind, to calm down, and to relax a little bit, because our brains will be in better shape later on if we do. And we'll be able to make better decisions and respond better. It's just all around a good thing. So without further ado, we'll start with the meditation. And I invite you to sit back in your seat, whatever your meditation posture is, and lower your gaze or close your eyes. I invite you to pay attention to your hands. Mine were clasped in my lap, so I'm unclasping them. Just take some good deep breaths into the belly, deep into the belly, and then nice and slow out. Now we breathe all the way into the belly. They call it a cleansing breath. And especially if you can slow the out breath, it really helps to slow down the heartbeat and slow down the system. So our practice of Shalva today, make sure you do a scan of the body and just focus on relaxing anything that doesn't feel it's calm, settled. So for me, that would be my jaw, my shoulders, the hips and the legs, and my hands. People hold tension in different places, so you check in with your spots. So for this practice of Shalva, we want to think about a balance of some kind. So whatever the external chaos or chatter, spinning that's going on outside, there's also, it generally, unless we address it, there's also some replication of chaos, chatter, and spinning going on inside. And so this practice really will be attuning to what's going on inside and seeing if we can relax and just put aside the spinning for just a moment. And relax. Relax into now. Relax into what is and who we are right in this moment, knowing that we are exactly fine, exactly as we are. thoughts may come back into the mind, and it's okay to register them and note them, affirm them, and then just gently place them down next to you, like a book or a magazine. When you're done reading it for the time being, you can pick it up later. So we'll have about 8 more minutes to explore this practice, and I'm going to mute now, and I'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone. You can start to deepen your breath and wiggle your fingers and your toes and open your eyes and come back to the room when you're ready. So this is, I think, a really important practice to be remembering our inner spiritual lives as we come closer to the high holidays. It is important to connect with that opportunity, and we want to make sure that we're ready as best we can be. And so a meditation practice is going to help us get into a calmer headspace. It's going to help us deal better with whatever's going on in the outside world, whatever it may be. And it's also going to help us remember to get focused on the really important opportunity that we have coming up for growth, for reflection, for connection with something greater than ourselves and our community, the Holy One, at the high holiday time. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next week. Meditation Minyan next Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock, or on the recording. Thanks again for joining us. Bye-bye.